Hello. There we go. All right. So I am designing a ninja for my short film. This is where I'm at so far. Started last week. Just gonna squeeze in whatever time I have today, because I gotta go pick up my dog in a couple hours from the groomer. But let's hope we can get it fully. Well, I'm still searching for a design, so let's see what I can get done today. Hey, Keelix, how's it going? No animation today. No animation today. Weekends, I'm taking a little break from the game. Um, Today I am just sculpting. I'm working on another project for a short film, and that's what my weekend's for. I'm doing great, man. How are you? Um, I'm making a little kung fu kind of samurai short film. Um, it's about a baby who's a samurai. And right now I am making the ninja that he's going to chop to pieces. Well, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. There's a bit of a story in it, so, but this is, yeah, it's kung fu, and it's, I don't know if you watched Star Wars episode 2. It's, kind of like, Yoda fighting, but he's a baby with a giant sword, and he fights grown-ups. Bit wacky, but yes, I've started working on the Discord server. I'm just organizing a few things. Between Twitch and YouTube, I'm just still organizing all that stuff and making sure everything's connected properly. I'll probably finish sorting it out tomorrow. I just felt like I wanted to do some actual work, like the on my projects today, and then I'll work on the Discord stuff tomorrow, and then by Monday it'll be ready. He's not gonna have a face. He's gonna be wearing a kabuki mask. I need to be able to replicate him. So I don't want to have a face because that's gonna be unnecessary for what I'm trying to do right now. He's gonna be wearing a mask. He's gonna be wearing a kabuki mask. So one of these things. He's wearing uh these things. But I'm gonna black out the eyes too, so you won't be able to see any eyes either. Well, it would be unfortunate because you wouldn't have a face then. Luckily, he doesn't have to worry about remembering to put the mask on because I'm going to remember for him. No, he's just not. He's never gonna. He's a character. He has to have the mask on. It's the mask is going to be built into the character, so it's not like he'll ever be without it. He'll always have it on. Are you still working on your Roblox stuff? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, it's not a real human. It's a cartoon. It's going to be a cartoon. I don't want it to look real. You're doing animation still, huh? Sounds familiar. I know someone that's doing a lot of animation for a game too. Takes a while. Who's doing animation for a video game and it's taking a long time? I don't know. I mean, anybody that does animation for a video game is going to realize it takes a long time, but pretty sure it's me. I wish it was faster, but I appreciate it. But don't worry, once I get that Discord set up, you can start posting your stuff too. I'd love to see it. It's okay. Let me get the initial thing set up first. I'll get you up in there shortly. Just because, in order for me to run, I need to understand what the heck is going on, so I can just do a little bit of reading on the subject, how to set up all the forums and stuff like that. Because I want you guys to be able to share stuff um, and whatnot. I don't want to just leave it completely open just yet. So once I have the initial setup, I'll get you. I'll get you in there. What do you mean? You can't see what's changing? Or you don't? It's the same. No, it's quite different. The shape, there used to be a shape here, right? So the shapes are completely different now. I'll show you. So this is what it's looking like. It just takes a while, dude. Um, so just take a good look. Okay, that's what I had there. So this is the first version of it. Oh, that's not it. Okay, this is the first version. Second version. Third version. Mm, 6. This is another version. Okay. Yeah, another version. And then, yeah, it starts to slow down right now because that's where I stopped. Yes. You just gotta slowly kind of work it up. I know some dudes that can sculpt a lot faster than I can, but you gotta remember I'm still pretty new to sculpting. So it takes me a little bit longer right now to figure everything out. What do you mean are like a curve? They're not supposed to be curved, or they are curved? The thumb here's got all wonky. That's okay. I can fix that. Oh, I use cubes because it's easier to visualize, right? So if you think of them like cubes, then you know exactly which way the sides are. So you can shave off the pieces that you don't need anymore, and you can make it more cylindrical afterwards. But this makes it just easier for me to see all the little segments, right? So all the little pieces in your finger. It just makes it easier for me to visualize it so that I can sculpt it afterwards. No, I won't be doing much animation today. I won't be touching animation again until Monday. Like I said, I'm taking a break. I gotta animate Monday through Friday, so weekends. If I'm gonna do something creative, it's definitely not gonna be animation. Oh, you mean on this thing? Am I gonna eventually animate him? Oh yeah. For my film, everything I'm gonna. I'll be doing some of it live. Yeah. I don't want to do too much of it because it's not like a video game where there's a whole other experience to be had in playing the video game. This is a kind of one shot, right? If I spoil it, it's not as fun anymore. So I'll be showing off the characters and maybe some of the animation process for this project, but I won't be as going as in depth as I will be for the game. Just because this is really just a side project, unless I gain some traction or find somebody who wants to help me with it. But it's really just a side project, so I don't anticipate I'll be featuring this much on stream. Like I said, it's probably gonna be weekends. If I do stream on weekends and stuff like that, that's when I'll be doing this stuff. So games are during the weekday, and then this is gonna be my weekend hobby. But no, not a whole lot of live stream animation for this one. Yeah, for now, just sculpting, texturing. I'm gonna feature little bits and pieces from the whole thing. So what I'd like to ultimately do is make videos about Blender and how Blender works and stuff like that, I guess. And so I'm recording all the stuff that I do to hopefully make it so that I can do videos about sculpting and other stuff and animation as well too. But I don't know. I'm gonna share as much as I can in the process. It might not be just modeling, but it will definitely include significant portions of modeling because I also have there's also layout, right? So which is the process of like kind of setting up the camera and blocking out all of the stuff and showing out, just how a shot gets completed in 3D, right? So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to demo. Is there something that you're interested in? You just want to see some animation, or what do you think? What would you be interested in watching? Yeah. So I mean, me neither. I'm just yeah. I mean, I enjoy animation. I mean, I enjoy sculpting just as much these days because I'm just trying to diversify my skills. I want to pick up a few more things so I can do more things, and if I can model and animate, that's a huge bonus because now I can do things on my own, right? So I don't always have to rely on other people. So I want to make sure I practice all the skills. But it's one of those things you get to do. I can do lots of different things, and it's kind of like a sampler for people who are interested in 3D stuff. You kind of get to see a few different things going on. Hey, Husar, how's it going, dude? Working on my sculpting today. This is the ninja character that I'm working on for my short film. So just slowly making some way. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have today. I think I got at least another hour before I gotta pick up my dog. He's at the groomer. So he's getting his hair trimmed and getting bathed and stuff. So just gotta keep an eye out for that. But I'm gonna call it. That's just a reminder. I'm gonna call it whenever they call me to go pick him up. So, will you do bone this? Yeah, my dog's adorable. His name's Ringo, and he's a big old Newfoundland, big lazy dog. I used to have a border collie, and those guys are super energetic. And I mean, I kind of miss having a border collie, but I really enjoy having a big lazy dog. So you've seen him occasionally walk through the screen. He just sleeps basically in a little, or it's a pretty big bed. He's 100 pounds, so he sleeps in the bed right here next to me when I'm working. Yeah, I thought the name Ringo was it's a great name for a dog too. Um, no, this is for a short film. Yeah, it's for my own project, my own edification, my own another one of my own projects, dude. I got a lot of them. But this one, yeah, it's for my own. It's about I think I mentioned to you the other day. It was about a baby samurai. Um, and that's what this project is about. Honestly, I've been kind of just enjoying my time off of work. If they don't, the thing is, like, if they didn't lay me off, I would probably never take time off of work. Like, I guess for some people, like, it's, work is work. But for me, I always wanted to be an animator when I was a kid. And well, maybe not since I was a kid, but I think I figured it out. It was after Toy Story, the first Toy Story came out. And so when you're kind of doing something that's, I mean, it's stress. There are times when it's stressful, don't, but for the most part, I enjoy the work that I do. And I enjoy the people that I work with. So I rarely have any complaints about, like, outside of the economics of the business, but in terms of the work, yeah, I love it. You see, I'm not getting paid. If I wasn't, say, what would you do if you weren't doing animation? I'd be like, well, I'd probably be animating or sculpting, right? So, and here I am doing exactly that. So, all right, Keelix, have a great night, dude. Thanks for stopping by. I'll get that Discord set up for you soon. I'll let you know as soon as Monday ticks around. It'll be ready. Hey, Fox. Sorry if I missed your chat. I'm still pretty new to streaming. It's about a samurai baby. Right now this is one of the main bad guys, or think of it like I don't know if you ever. So here's the idea I have is basically for this guy is gonna be like if you ever watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this guy's gonna be like the foot soldiers. All right, the Foot Clan. Um, it's my little parallel to that. That's what I'm kind of intending it to be. So it's basically a ninja in a kabuki mask. Buddy, Final Fantasy VII is literally. Are you talking about the one from the 90s? Or are you talking about yes? Because I was like, obviously the new ones, but I Final Fantasy VII was literally the video game that got me genuinely interested in animation and drawing and all that. Like I had always done it, right? Like I'd always drawn and stuff like that. But when it was for whatever I think when I first saw Final Fantasy, you go look at it now, it's terrible. But when I first saw it, for whatever reason, it just kind of it piqued my interest at that moment. Like because I had seen Toy Story before, so I kind of had this impression of this is the direction I kind of want to go. But it wasn't until Final Fantasy VII that I was like, yes. And I think what it was is because they weren't treating the audience, like they were trying to entertain children, right? Like they were trying to tell a mature story and they were trying to be very serious about it. And I think that's what resonated with me with when it came to Final Fantasy VII, the original release. Um, and the 3D animation, it was I don't know if you would say it was cutting edge at the time. It was certainly cutting edge for what they were doing in video games and FMVs. Um, but yeah, going watching it back now, it's like yeesh. It's amazing, right? Like it's not that there's nothing there's nothing impressive about it now. But that was the game that kind of got me really really interested in like anime games. I'm sure and people from my generation it was kind of that sparking moment for them. Yeah. Yeah, it was just more mature stories, right? And I think that's because I was a teenager when Final Fantasy VII dropped and I loved cartoons, but it then kind of pushed me into the anime genre, and then I started finding all this great manga and anime, and then that just fueled me for several years, right? So right through my college education through animation, we were all manga fans, animation fans. Yeah, Husar, I feel bad for people that are not look, life is life. Sometimes we got to work, right? And certainly when you're getting laid off from your job, there's going to be a situation where at some point, my savings is going to run out. So I'm going to have to go and actually get gainful employment. But yeah, I mean, it sucks to have to not enjoy the work that you got to do 8 hours a day. So that was something that I was very focused on when I was kind of like picking a career. My parents were not very keen on it, and rightfully so. I mean, your kid comes and tells you they want to be an artist. I can only imagine the concern a parent would have. It's like, oh my gosh, is this kid going to be able to eat? Is this kid going to be able to pay for his own life? Right? Like, so I know it's scary, but I think recognizing that if it's something you're passionate about and you're willing to work for it, like I think I think at some point my parents realized that like, oh, I don't really have a whole lot of quit in me when it comes to this stuff. Like I'll just keep doing it, right? Like it's not like you said, it's never felt like a job. So I've never felt like I had to force myself to do it. There are times where I don't feel like doing it, and it's important for me to as far as a job is concerned and staying professional. So I can do it. But anytime I sit down, pretty much anytime I'm gonna stream, anytime I want to do it, I just do it. I just sit and just do it, right? Like, and it's never a fuss. And I think that's I think if that's something something that you can turn into a career, if that's something you already do already, that's in your life that you can turn into a career, I think that might be the ideal way to go. But like I said, I completely understand life is life. You're gonna have to make some choices and 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 do things. Yeah, look, my parents didn't flat out discourage me. But they definitely were apprehensive about my decision to pursue art because they understand it's not an easy thing, right? It's not something that you're gonna find success in right away because it takes a long time to get good at something, especially in the artistic realm. And I get it. I get it, right? I get why people sometimes don't want it, are gonna be like, well, don't put all your eggs into one basket kind of thing. But I figured I was young. I was in my 20s. I was like, you know what? If there's ever a chance time to take a shot at something a little bit crazier, and I wish I was actually a little bit crazier, all in all. I wish I had taken the chance to try my own projects when I was younger, but I thought I could climb the ladder of animation, the ladder of the animation business. Unfortunately, it took me a while to realize it just doesn't work that way. Nobody's really gonna give you that shot until you try to take it on your own. And that's basically, I've been spending the last couple of years building my portfolio, building my repertoire. I would say last half decade, just readjusting the way I approach the business because it's changing. And if I'm not willing to pick up some other skills and change with it, that includes learning some AI stuff too, right? Um, it's gonna change without me. Yeah, time's the factor, right? Time is always the factor. Um, I felt the same way when I was when I started working. I mean, it was a benefit because you're working in the career that you've chosen, and it and you pursued it, and it is the art that you're kind of like into. But again, life changes sometimes. I found myself later on as an animator, like, oh, I'm not as into animation as I used to be. Like for me, it used to be 24/7. Like every day. I think about it all the time. Talk to everybody, fill my life with people who do nothing but talk about animation. But it's not like that. I'm much more tempered about it. And I think the approach is much more tempered to learn something new. But it wasn't until I was basically the last 3 years of work between the actors strike and all of these things, ACTRA, IATSE. I mean, we had a writer's strike back in 2008. Like the business has undergone some changes, and I'm just tired of you know, constantly being in a situation where I gotta sing for my supper to the studios that I've already worked for. You know, again, I really don't begrudge them anything. It's just that it's time for me as an artist, as a creative, to take a stab at something of my own because nobody's gonna give me recognition for something that I haven't done yet, right? Like you can't expect to be a director if you've never directed anything. You can't expect to be a sculptor if you've never sculpted as so I got to do all these things, and I'm trying to rally people to help me to find a project that we can all share and enjoy. um that's difficult. I pitched the idea to a bunch of people and it always sounds great to them, but when it comes time to actually sit and do the work, it's just like you said, finding the time when life is going. People move on. They have families, they have kids, and they can't do the same things that they once wanted to do. And I find it came down to if I'm not going to do this on my own, it's just not going to happen. So at the very least, I need to get it to a point where I can pick up traction, I can generate interest, and I can show that there's something there. And then I think more people would be willing to kind of jump on board and take a swing. But when there's nothing there to show, it's difficult to convince anybody to do anything, especially when there's no money immediately involved. People in their 40s do not like to do work unless they're getting paid to do it, right? So, Yeah, AI is on the horizon now too. Um, I'm almost certain the slowdown in the business right now is because of R&D in AI. So they don't want to spend a lot of money in film and television until they can figure out if they can do, there's going to be a massive cost savings for them using artificial intelligence. Um, and every company is investing heavily right now, right? So even the company that I'm currently employed at, but they were very open to us about it. They're just like, "Look, guys, we don't have a choice, right?" So, and I get it. Again, it comes to business. I get it. It sucks, but you know, I don't think this means the end of artists, right? Because you still need artists to feed that AI system, right? Like it's scraping the internet for everybody's art, but at the same time, it's not. You need an artist to feed it something original, original ideas, original creativity, something that the AI can then kind of build a model on. You cannot just have it build a model on everything that it finds on the internet because that's when you're going to find something super generic. But I have some measure of faith in it if you're going to say go the route of we're going to train this with our in-house artists. So the art that we produce, we can then put into our own AI model. Okay, I'm okay with that, right? But to go have your AI scrub the entirety of the internet and steal everybody's stuff and try to generate something that I think I have a problem with. I agree. I just there's a human quality. Like if art was so easy to replace, we wouldn't be doing it for 10,000 years, right? Like humans would not have felt compelled to do this for 10,000 years when other things have come and gone out of existence. The need to make a mark on a page is so innately ingrained into us. And whether we're doing it digitally, it's something, the need to create something, I think, is just human. It's the same as the need to explore something that somebody tells you don't do that. It's then our brain immediately goes to, well, we should try to do it, right? So I don't I can't imagine it. Maybe that's just my short-sightedness and not seeing the power of AIs and computing, but I have yet to buy into all the hype. I use the Gemini to help me work out logic and stuff for the game, and I find myself arguing with the damn thing sometimes, right? Like this is insanity. I am arguing with a computer. Uh, Yeah, totally. What Fox? What are you using? I started thinking about using OpenClaw and training a local building just building an AI computer and just having it kind of running in on my local network just to learn what I'm doing, right? Yeah. No, dude, I say some of the most horrible things to the Gemini sometimes, and I'm wondering how much regret I'm gonna have 5 years from now when it's a fully mature technology, right? Like, I go into full meltdown mode sometimes when I'm working with Gemini. It's it's hilarious because the weird thing is it tries to gas you up too, right? So I'll tell it, hey, look, you don't need to tell me to reference the fact that I've used Maya for 20 years, right? Just tell me how to do this in Blender, right? But also I'll ask it something and I'll be like, hey, I want to do this. I want to snap my things to a locator in Blender or to a null object in Blender. And like, oh, well, because you've used Maya for 20 years, I can see how this can be confusing. Right. And I'm just like, well, you don't need to preface every conversation, every statement with by gassing me up and telling me that I've used this thing for 20 years. Just tell me the answer. I don't know if that's what they're programming is to try to make the user feel good too. Like, That's really interesting. Like I've actually found, I mean, look, the Hussar, the stuff that I know about, uh, I guess that part of Europe, is gonna mostly come from news and movies. Not maybe not fiction movies, but like documentaries and stuff like that. So I don't know how accurate the information is, but from my understanding, they're far more progressive about schooling, well, pretty much everything in terms of like how you guys spend your money in terms of like what a school and what your school should be teaching kids, right? Like here, we're very good at training, I think, people that are going to just take part in the system. Whereas I think in Europe, they're doing a much better job of actually training kids on how to explore and ask questions that are relevant to what they might be doing with their skills, right? Like here, you got a lot of kids that do math, but they don't really know what they're gonna do with that math. And I like the idea of a technical school, technicum, I guess you guys are calling it, where you pick a certain skill. Because sometimes I was pretty young when I knew what I wanted to do. Um, and I guess the conventional thinking used to be that you give somebody a taste of everything and then they get a chance to kind of pick the thing that they want to do. Whereas I think like a situation like a technicum or technical institute, and I think they have it in some places in parts of the United States, like magnet schools and stuff like that. Not specifically chartered schools, although they probably are. Um, but yeah, it just seems like that makes much more sense. Because as we get more information, have access to the internet, I think you're gonna find the things that you're interested in more readily available. And then having an education stream that can cater that and build the best version of that for your country, for your society, I think is a benefit, right? So, again, that's my understanding of how Europeans are, particularly like Switzerland, Sweden, Poland, where I guess Eastern European is, they have a better outlook on it. Like I've been told that these guys, they're like, I know, again, I don't know if this is the right way, but I guess it's just European in general, but like, the state of your health, your state of mind matters. So even the Italians know this, and I can't remember. I remember watching this documentary. I don't know if was it what if it's Italy or France? It's a European country, but they're so progressive in the way that like you here take 2 hours off for lunch, you come back, you work 3 hours in the afternoon, you work 3 hours in the morning, you take 2 hours for lunch, right? And there's never any overtime. There's a great benefit to the pay. You get an entire month off, right? Like, are you the highest paid people on the planet? No, but you don't need to be, right? Like not everybody aspires to be billionaires. Oh, yeah, the AI where it doesn't understand what version or it because it takes in all of the documentation for every version of 3ds Max, for example. It's then gonna tell you then procedurally how to do something, and then you're like, you start doing it, and then you're looking at like, I don't see these options. And then you realize, hey, are you telling me for the version and then you try to correct, right, by creating a proper statement for it, but then it becomes one of those things about like how good can I write, how good can I prompt my AI, and my prompt is it's going to be dependent on, like, I thought a large language model was supposed to speak, we were supposed to speak to it is in a natural English as or a natural language as possible, yet I'm prefacing every little thing that I have to ask it to do, right? So again, a large factor of that is what gives me confidence that, oh yeah, yeah, you'll never be able to replace what I can do with this yet, right? It's impressive because it's the world's repository of information it has immediate access to. So it's nothing short of impressive, but it just doesn't know how to interpret that and make the proper inferences, right? Like for things that are just basically binary for humans, it is a whole memory system of memory allocation and like because the AI doesn't forget things. So you can't tell it to forget things. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to take this information and I'm going to put it over here now, but I'm not going to forget it, right? Because it for whatever reason, all of, I guess, Google or whatever, they've designed to take the totality of everything that you're talking about and to try to build a language model that understands you best. But I just find it ends up being more frustrating than anything else because you expect it because they told you, oh, it's a large language model. It's you can speak to it regularly, and when you speak to it regularly, it just keeps mucking everything up. Yeah, that's pretty much what I see it as right now. I think AI is not gonna. It's yeah, it's a tool to allow you to get to a place or an idea quicker, but I don't think I would ever take anything that it produces just yet, because I'm not at that. Perhaps I'm just not willing to let go of wanting to do things myself. But um, yeah, I definitely see it as a tool that it's definitely helped, right? Like it's given me the confidence. Let's put it this way. I wouldn't I don't think I would have attempted to try to make a video game had I not had access to AI. Only because it's if you're asked going about it in the right way, I think it can almost be like a mentor showing you because all the things that are involved, right? Because you're never going to discover these things on your own just by playing with Unreal, right? You're never going to find all of the nodes that are available to all the functions, all the procedures, all the events, and how to do all those things without somebody at least guiding your hand and saying, "Hey, you need to move in this direction." And I think that's where I think I have found AI to be very beneficial for me, is that at the very least it points me in the right direction. So now I know which way I need to go in order to find the information. I know the verbiage. I know what to look up. I have found Google to be more useful than Gemini itself in terms of prompting, saying, "Hey, I have when I run into a problem and I need a resolution, or I'm looking for a solution." It requires a little bit more reading. You got to sift through Reddit posts and stuff like that. But uh, I I'm less frustrated by that way than being told the wrong just flat out told the wrong information, right? So, but like I said, it's been helpful in guiding me to understand what to look for. So I won't begrudge it for that. Um, yeah, I think it has its use right now, and I just think people are. There might be an overhype in what it can do right now. I don't doubt it'll get there one day. I just don't think it's right there right now. And I think if you're every studio, every company that I've heard of laying off workers specifically to replace their workers with AI, started hiring people back 6 months after they made that decision. Just simply because there are just some businesses that cannot operate function like that. That just you need a human touch here, for the time being. You know, like I said, I'm not completely against AI. I don't think it is where it's supposed to be right now. Or not, maybe not where it's supposed to be, but it's not what they're telling us it is, or what the news is hyping it up to be. I'm probably not gonna have to go as detailed as a butt crack, but started. Might as well finish. So, Husar, do you think you're, how are you? Do you like the state of the education? I know you have a kid, so it's pretty could be pretty important. Kids, I know it's pretty important to you. Um, how do you feel about education? How would you feel if your kids wanted to pursue art? That's incredible. I mean, your kid must that's is she aspiring to go into the performance career, like in acting and singing? Fox, that sounds like a cool concept, dude. Chasing death. Yeah, the story I'm trying to build into this is I would say something. It's not really similar, but I've played with. I have two ideas kind of floating around on this thing right now. I haven't solidified one, but one definitely includes gods and death, and the a devil taking over the baby's body. The other one is just um the other day the question is like how the origin story of this baby, right? How does a baby come to be able to wield a giant sword and kill people? um so that needs an answer. Whether or not it's necessary for you guys to know, it's irrelevant. But it's something that I kind of want to put into my brain, just because it's just more to draw from, right? So, oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I mean, if she just enjoys it, I mean, I mean, that's pretty much how I spent most of my childhood too. I just never there was never any class of direction in it, because my parents had just immigrated to or emigrated to Canada. So we were immigrants my parents were immigrants in the country, and we didn't so they weren't well off, or they at least didn't see financial prosperity until, well, we were both, me and my older brother were in both high school by the time my parents started kind of getting real financial security. Um, so we didn't get to join a whole lot of clubs and stuff like that. And I don't know if in Poland they're doing like a socialized these acting classes if it's part of like the curriculum in school, like if you're paying for it as a private thing. Um, but the fact that your kids are able to do that just gives them so many more options, right? Like I think a lot of the thing for me was I chose animation largely or chose drawing largely out of boredom, right? Like it's because I didn't there was nothing else for me to do. Uh, like there wasn't any internet, there just wasn't anything to do. And I think that's partly why I kind of fell into to art. I mean, I always thought drawing and stuff was cool, but yeah, hey Fox, I've been cooking a lot of stories over the years in terms of like, and some of them are probably terrible, some of them might be good. But yeah, having the AI kind of just like I said, it helps kind of guide you and let you kind of gain some confidence in an avenue in an area that you're just not good at, right? So even if like I have because I was originally thinking of this story as potentially doing it as a web series. And so I got AI to kind of help me structure everything, right? So it's not doing any of the writing. It's just like here are some things, here's how how the story could be structured if I wanted to do it in little 2 or 3 minute episodes. Um, so I think AI is fine as long as you're not like just trying to prompt it to say, "Hey, make my short for me," right? That might be a bit gross, but you definitely could use it to do other things, right? Like just to give you a baseline to start working with. Yeah, I got a buddy right now that's actually like in all sorts of like film festivals, doing like AI film festivals and stuff like that. He's been really into it. Like I say, he's been part of the reason I'm convinced that, it's gonna get there, but it's not as easy as you think it is to get a result out of AI, right? Some people, I think a lot of the misconception is that you can just plug it in and it starts to magically output things right now. And it all depends on the direction you want to go. So I started doing things with like Comfy UI, so it's customizable, it's trainable. I'm trying to train my own AI system, right? So, and I think that's what kind of attracts me to using Claude, open not Claude, OpenClaw. Just because I can install it locally on my system, I feel relatively secure that it's everything it's doing is contained on my own network, on my own computers. So I'm not too worried about what's gonna leave my machine because it's gonna be internalized. Whether I give it network access, I mean, you probably would want to allow it to access the internet just because you're gonna limit its capabilities by not. Ryan? No, I haven't watched that. What's it about? Oh, that's look at some of the images. It look pretty cool. It just blows me away that in Japanese anime, like how detailed the drawings are for animation. I guess they don't do animation the same way we do, so they can get away with it because their posing is so good. Like they can kind of sit on a single pose for a while. And it's not because they can't animate. Like this or some of the stuff that I've seen. I don't know if you guys have watched Cowboy Bebop, the um, the original Mad Piero, the Mad Piero episode in Cowboy Bebop was, I think, one of the greatest pieces of anime ever made. Yeah, yeah, go for it, dude. We're not monetizing or doing anything right now. We're just I'm just streaming for fun, so you can go ahead and post the link. So you have to give me a second. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna go check on the status of my dog. I'll be right back. I'm checking out that your link right now. That's cool. It's incredible how much like I don't know which direction it goes in, whether it's video games in influencing anime or anime influencing um video games, but the stuff that I really like here, let me show you something that this is one of my favorite fight sequences of all time. Oh wait, I think I sent that to did I send that to the right channel? Yeah. You should check out what's his face on YouTube who does some great effects animation. So I sculpted a couple years ago. When I first started sculpting, I did let me see if I can find this guy's tutorial. Ryan King. I think he's got some great tutorials for Blender effects. This guy's got a great he's just really good at doing tutorials. Yeah, it was just yeah, I thought Bruno was better than people kind of criticized it for. Um, I know this stuff came out of the movie, and they kind of transplanted it into the episodes. That's why it's animated so well. You're not gonna get that level of animation in um in a TV series. You just won't. Not even Dragon Ball, right? Like I'm an epic Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball is kind of like what I grew up on. Yeah, Super was great. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is for me the ultimate. That's like the pinnacle of the series of all of Toriyama's work. But Super was a great follow up. I mean, what's his name? He handed it off, um, and I think the artists that picked up his work did a great job with it. I know he still influenced the story. Not a huge fan of Dragon Ball Daima. Or was it Daima, the newer series on that was on Netflix? Not a huge fan of that. It was okay. It was Dragon Ball. Gave me my Dragon Ball fix. But Super was definitely one of like, yeah, this is a good follow up to Dragon Ball Z. Not a fan of Dragon Ball GT. Yeah, I feel like not even Toriyama was a fan of Dragon Ball GT. No, I fucked it up. Okay, guys, dogs ready to be picked up. I'm gonna call that the end of the stream. What did I get to? Just under 2 hours today. Maybe I'll be back later. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. Maybe tomorrow. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate. Yeah. Fox, thanks for stopping by. Hussar, thanks again for the support, buddy. Always. Fox, if you're interested, I stream pretty much every day, every weekday, Monday through Friday for about 4 or 5 hours. So, if you're interested, pop by again, say hello. I enjoyed our chat. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.